Today in our program, high IQ, language skills and physical endurance. What criteria does a modern Ukrainian border guard have to meet? School of Survival, the Chechen way. Residents of the border villages of western Ukraine suspected a tourist of illegally crossing the border. The joint operation of international migrants detention on the Black Sea coast. Most of these boys and girls still had no relation to the military profession. Today they came to the training centre at the State Border Guard Service to compete for the right to become a border guard. The centre tested the contestants of the new face of the border project. From now on, everyone who meets the criteria can proudly wear a green beret. The criteria includes age, level of knowledge and appropriate training. The pilot project, New Face of the Border, was launched 2 years ago. Then the State Border Guard Service had set itself an ambitious task to prepare professionals who are not inferior to their European counterparts. 160 winners have undergone military training and were sent to the border service. Ukrainian citizens and foreign tourists noted improvement in the quality of service at the experimental border crossing checkpoints. Inspired by the first success, the border guards are planning to select 800 new recruits. The US Embassy and the International Migration Organization gave support to the project. They invested $2 million into the testing system. The applications are submitted online. The psychological evaluation is conducted by the software as well. All the results are processed automatically and a ratings list is created. The entire selection and training of new staff is based on full transparency and objectivity. Potential recruits have to go through 2 stages of selection. If candidates successfully pass the first stage of selection, they will be proposed to pass a health examination. Successful recruits have to undergo 3 months of training. The training course for the military is shorter. It is only for 21 days. Then they will leave for their designated area of duty. Stary Sambir country, Lviv Oblast. There is the border with Poland, mountains, wilderness, mountain passes and border status. All this is a warning for ordinary tourists. Usually strangers do not go there as it requires a special permit. Therefore, seeing a suspicious man in the mountains with a new backpack, the locals were very surprised. Convinced that he had not spotted them, they immediately called the border guards. Border guards received information from local residents who reported that they had spotted a man with a Caucasian appearance heading towards the border in the outskirts of a border village. The fan of mountain tourism was detained in hot pursuit and taken to the border unit. He could not provide any documents, though he claimed to be a Russian citizen, a native of Chechnya. However, it was not the only thing that aroused interest in the officers. They had learnt that the detainee was preparing to travel very cautiously. A tactical backpack, binoculars, a special first aid kit, an axe, a knife set, a compass, sports nutrition and energy products. This is an incomplete list of what was among the personal belongings of the prudent traveller. He said to the border guards that he was going to visit a family that, as it turned out, had been living in Austria for quite some time. The investigation revealed why and where the Chechen was heading. The border guards were grateful to the vigilant Stary Sambir residents. Watch more spring catch of the Zakarpattia border guards, smugglers, amphibians and Ukrainian tobacco. An underground passenger whom some unknown individuals tried to secretly take out of Ukraine covered by parrots. The town of Chornomorsk in the Odessa Oblast, the deep blue sea, fresh air and tropical fruits, a true paradise for vacationers, but not just for them. Over recent times, the Black Sea coast is increasingly attracting migrants from Southeast Asia. This was confirmed by a recent operation conducted by border guards in cooperation with employees of the prosecutor's office and the police. Several dozen people from Vietnam live together in this house. Do not try to count them. Let us say that at once, police found 41 citizens of this Southeast Asian country at 2 different addresses in the Ukrainian resort town. They were staying illegally in Ukraine. These illegal aliens slept on the floor and seemed ready to endure such wandering and hardship. All detainees were brought to the migration service. Investigators were to ascertain how each of them entered Ukraine. According to preliminary investigations, the Vietnamese were working in illegal sweatshops outside of Odessa. Odessa. Earlier, Ukrainian law enforcers had detected underground shops selling fake brand name clothing. Here, for some time, criminals used illegal immigrants as cheap labor before sending them to member countries of the European Union. This version was confirmed by 4 MSOAs. Overall, last year, Ukrainian border guards detained more than 2,600 illegal immigrants. 127 of them are citizens of Vietnam. Zakarpattia, the favorite haven of smugglers, especially those specializing in contraband cigarettes. This is where Ukraine borders with 4 EU countries, where such a project is in great demand, in particular Romania, Hungary, Slovakia and Poland. The river Tisa partly serves as a natural border between them. It's a challenge, the criminals decided, and put on wetsuits. However, equipment for the underwater journey to the EU shores did not save the swimmers. Ukrainian border guards detained them together with their Romanian counterparts. 13 troubled swimmers managed to overcome the water barrier, and only one of their colleagues was marooned on Ukrainian shores. The law enforcement bodies also seized 28 packets of contraband cigarettes found in their belongings. The detained amphibians were taken to the detachment by the border guards. Instruments of committing an offence, namely 14 diving suits, were also confiscated. The attempts to make good money through smuggling failed. Moreover, they lost their products and were fined more than 3,000 Ukrainian hryvnias. From the beginning of the year, the guards detained more than 30 divers. The youngest of them was under 18 years old. Border guards and customs officers found an unusual passenger at the Odessa seaport, and he was being transported in a minibus. The vehicle, which travelled to Turkey with 3 passengers of Turkish origin, attracted the attention of outsiders by a strange noise. 2,000 parrots and 200 canaries transported by the Turks were loudly shrieking. Everything was in order in the documents for the birds. The documents of 4 cats, which also left for a journey on the high seas, were also in order. However, one of the bags in the minibus interior attracted the attention of the border guards, and not just because it was hidden away from prying eyes. Inside there was a frightened, whimpering animal similar to a cat. As it turned out, foreigners brought home a special trophy, a lion cub which was not even a month old. Apparently was under the influence of sleeping pills. Hungry and disorientated, the cub was immediately sent to Odessa Zoo. In turn, law enforcers launched proceedings against the illegal animal traffickers. The story of the lion cub, which the zoo staff named Sandra, has a happy ending. Zoologists say all is well. The lion cub is already accustomed to the nipple and is being fed goat's milk with eggs